Hey yo, I'm here to tell you, if you saw that viral video of that light-skinned nigga with them fake-ass dreads proposing to his lady at the Tyler, the Creator concert in Atlanta, yeah, that nigga's still married. He been married for years. If anybody know that lady that he's proposing to, let her know to run. This nigga is a scammer, is a thief, this nigga is a lie. You know how I know? I used to be friends with this nigga. But I found out who he really was when we stopped being friends. I know 3 of his ladies because we were friends for so long. Please, if you know that lady in Atlanta, Georgia, tell her to run. This nigga, this is what he does. He is literally the black tinder Swindler. So, yeah, run.
Hey y'all, this is one of the craziest twists when it comes to an engagement swindler that I have ever seen. So tell me why a post went viral where Byron was proposing to another lady. Now, that was when people started seeing it. Someone came out and exposed Byron and said this man is married, has been married, and he has multiple baby mamas, is a fraud. Now, these women who Byron was involved with, is involved with, started coming outside to spill the nasty details about Byron. I can't cover it all in one part, so it's going to be probably as the women, keep on speaking, I'm going to bring those videos to you guys, okay? But let's go listen to what one of the women, had to say concerning Byron. Our own situation happened a while back, but with this whole thing coming out together, she has come out to speak, and I want us to go watch and give our thoughts concerning this. And we as women can also learn. I mean, it costs you nothing to do your research concerning a man before you decide to spend the rest of your life with that individual. Please go ahead and do your research, do your digging concerning him, because you might never know what you just find out. Anyway, guys, let's go listen and I'll be back.
That's right, nigga! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Oh my God! Wow! Wow! Hey! 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 Hey!
That's it. I quit. Dating sucks, hate it here, blah, blah, blah. So this one is not about a date because apparently I need to actually go on one in order to keep telling you guys stories. Minor technicality I did not take into consideration. Oh, but do not worry, because considering this is the last story time of 2021, the tea that I'm about to spill is much, much juicier. Don't believe me? Well, what if I told you that I started out the beginning of this year engaged to who I thought was the love of my life, only to find out that he just announced that he's expecting a baby with the bitch that he cheated on me with? Yay! I'm sorry, I shouldn't have called her a bitch. That was misdirected anger. There's literally only one monster in this story. Unless she knew about me, in which case the bitch stands. But that's not the point. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back while I tell the tall tale of the time that I almost married a narcissistic sociopath. And in case you're wondering, yes, this is going to hurt. The year was 2018, and after a summer of trolloping through the ghetto streets of dating, I finally met a man who, I hate to admit it, but swept me off my feet. And by now, y'all already know what turned your girl real basic real quick. He was tall, he was funny, he was beautiful, he was scrumdiddlyumptious. Sidebar, I am completely convinced that the devil is walking the earth disguised as beautiful men, so from this point on, it'll only be Pee Wee Hermans and Steve Urkels for me. And don't even try to play me with that Stefan or Kel shit. I see right through you. Not today, Satan. So we instantly connected. It was one of those like, I just met you, but I feel like I've known you forever type of connections. And while I thought initially he was just being very intentional of his pursuit of me, I have come to find out that he was just exercising that age-old manipulation tactic used by narcissists all around the world known as love bombing. Yeah, there's definitely going to be multiple parts to this story. Anyway, where was I? Oh, that's right. Love bombing. Super fucked up, but super effective. So much so that I fell in love with him, thought he fell in love with me, and after 11 months of dating, he asked me to marry him. It was not a simple ask. No. Because that's not how narcissists roll. They don't do quiet and intimate. They do loud and outlandish, like fucking flash mobs. Because how else can they ensure maximum humiliation when they up and leave you? I mean, if you're a sociopath, it makes sense. If you're not, well, you're basic. Ooh, pro tip for all my aspiring narcissistic sociopaths out there. If you have any children that you don't actually take care of, but you use as pawns in order to disarm other people, you should totally incorporate them into your con because it works like a charm. We are talking that shit is très magnifique. Now, you know y'all nosy and you want some more tea, so head on over to part 2. Welcome back to the Holiday Limited series. So I Almost Married a Narcissistic Sociopath, brought to you by Dating Sucks and I Hate It Here. Tequila's up. Let's do this. Okay, so now I'm engaged and I'm not even gonna front. I was so happy. I was like over the moon, on my knees praying, Jesus, you did it. You see me. Won't he do it? He did though. But now I'm over here like, but what's really good, fam? Anyways. Sorry for yelling. So listen, your girl is no spring chicken, so I wasted no time planning the dream wedding that I have literally been thinking of and conjuring up for the past 30 years. Now, for the most part, planning was a cinch. I mean, we had the date, we had the venue, I had my dress, my girls had their dresses. I mean, I was sitting up there on my high horse like, I thought this was supposed to be stressful, but I guess not for me. Little did I know that I would come to wish that my biggest issue was trying to figure out how to keep Uncle Ray Ray and Auntie Poom Poom from sitting next to each other. So like, I don't know if you heard, but in 2020, the whole world kind of shut down because of this little virus situation. I don't know. If you ask me, it was a little over. Oh my God. Am I dying? I think I'm dying. Oh my God. I gotta take a test. And we're back. Seeing as this is my first global pandemic, I was not prepared for the way in which an entire collective global tragedy will come for your entire life. And you know who it's even more inconvenient for? Trifling heifers who've been secretly in these streets being foul. Now, when you're a narcissist and you are living not just a double life, but 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 different lives, things get real tricky when you're slapped with a stay-at-home order and you're forced to quarantine in your house, thus messing up every cover story you've ever created in your entire existence because where are you going, my dog? No, really. Where are you going? So it's the latter half of 2020 and my intuition is on trill. A couple situations occurred that now have me realizing the math isn't mathing, because basically he still wanted to be on his fuckboy shit, except the whole world has changed. So he can't move how he used to move, or really he can't hide how he used to hide. You want to know the number one surefire way to piss off a narcissist and have them showing their ass? You know, the real one? Be unrelenting in your pursuit of the truth. As my girl Chelsea Hart would say, they do not like this. One thing you should know about me, if something don't look right, taste right, sound right, feel right, I'm going to say something, and I'm going to keep saying something until you make it make sense. And if you can't make it make sense, well then, ain't nobody going to be happy. This feels like a good time to tell you to run, not walk, to part 3. Welcome back to the holiday. Welcome to part 3. Before we continue, I just want to do a little check-in. How are we doing? Are we okay? That's a silly question. No, we're not. But anyway, so at this point, nothing makes sense to me anymore, and I am not letting anything go. And because I'm not letting anything go, he basically powered up on his narcissistic villain powers and decided to go ham on the gaslighting, the manipulation, and the outright emotional and mental abuse. This man spent the next 3 to 4 months trying to convince me that I was out of my whole motherfucking mind. I mean, everything that I shared with him, every vulnerability, every insecurity, every fear, everything that I gave to him because I thought he was a safe space for me, he was now throwing back at me like brrrr. I mean, at this point, he was basically taking every audacity he had ever stored up in his entire life and was firing them off like grenades. For example, he comes to me one day and tells me that he needs to go to Big Bear, which is in the mountains, for a work training. The reason that this is problematic is because we're in a shutdown. There is no work training, my dog. There's barely any work. You must think I'm dumb. He tries to gaslight me into believing that it is because of my severe insecurity that I cannot see things clearly. Because if I could see things clearly, I would see that he's just trying to go do what's best for our family's future. Nah, fam, I see just fine. You trying to go to the mountains and deep dive in somebody else's poonan. Now, did this stop him from going? Absolutely not. He literally dipped out one day while I was in the shower and wait for it, my car. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I fail to mention that at this exact same time, my dad had just had a severe stroke and was in a medically induced coma with the doctors telling us he might not make it? So I'm already depressed. My anxiety is all over the place. And instead of being my rock, my comfort, I don't know, someone to lean on, no, he decided to be Satan incarnate. So after months of literally traumatizing me mentally and emotionally, he decides he's going to go visit his mom. 3 days after he leaves, I get a call from him where he's like, you're batshit crazy, your family's batshit crazy, and honestly, I no longer have the bandwidth and I don't want to marry you anymore. Oh yes, you heard that correctly. He broke off our engagement over the phone from his mama's house in another state. Now, to really paint a picture of just how diabolical a narcissist is, my dad was scheduled to have another surgery and had written us all letters, including him. This man sat there and let me read the letter that my daddy wrote to him and then proceeded to blow up my entire life no more than 35 seconds later. If you have made it this far, welcome to the finale of So I Almost Married a Narcissistic Sociopath. So he's just blown up my entire life, and if the way in which he did so was not gut-wrenching enough, over the next couple months, I would come to find out that he had multiple children that I knew nothing about. He owes a shit ton of back child support. He basically was cheating on me our entire relationship. At this point, I feel like I'd be pressed to find a day where he was faithful. And my personal favorite, he's married to someone else. And that's the real kicker for me, ladies and gentlemen, because plot twist, that means we were never actually going to get married. So when he proposed to me, he knew we weren't going to get married. When we started planning our wedding, he knew we weren't going to get married. When we did our engagement photos, he knew we would not get married. When my family paid deposits for the venue, for the caterer, for the DJ, for the flowers, for the planner, he knew we were not going to get married. When I bought my dress, he knew we were not going to get married. When my girls spent money on their dresses, he knew we were never going to get married. Now, if that's not a narcissistic sociopath, then I don't know what is. So that's the skinny on how I almost married a narcissistic sociopath. And now he is having a baby with his new supply. And congrats to the happy couple. No, not really. I hope you're miserable. BT dubs, sis, if he ends up proposing to you with a really beautiful oval-shaped halo engagement ring, that's mine. Could I get that back? I only ask because, you know, my parents paid for it. Okay, I know that's petty, but I earned it. Okay, real talk. I know that I use humor a lot to retell some really painful and hard truths about my life, but I want to make it very clear. Anyone who has experienced being in an abusive relationship of any kind, whether emotionally, physically, mentally, and in relationship with a narcissistic personality, that is no joking matter. It is so incredibly painful, and it is so incredibly difficult to try and recover from. Healing and rebuilding from this has been one of the hardest and scariest things that I've ever done, because I fully believed that this was going to destroy me. But somehow it didn't. Actually, I know how. I know what it's like to experience a pain that you can literally feel tearing pieces of you away. And I'm not here to give you answers because frankly, I don't have them. I just simply want to remind you that you are not alone and to encourage you to keep fighting for you, because those places that we think are impossible for us to get to, they're not. Love you.
This is one of the many women that Byron is involved with. He has tons of babies, like he's a baby daddy to tons of kids, late in child support and whatnot. And I wonder why, if you know you're not clean, why was he doing such an extravagant, proposal? Anyway, guys, I'll be coming with other videos from some of the other women who have come out to speak concerning these men, because men like this need to be exposed. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Leave your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.